Hello, everybody. My name is Elijah Atkins. Have you ever wanted to go back in time to change a drastic event? Well, the characters in Kindred, Dana and Kevin, did just that despite their wishes. Kindred is a fiction novel where a black woman named Dana travels from the present in 1976 to the past 1800s to help her ancestor Rufus, who is a slaveholder, whenever he's in danger. And sometimes she's accompanied by her white boyfriend, Kevin, if he's touching her when she's getting pulled from the present. Um, Kendrick has a lot of examples of Afro pessimism. Despite people thinking that since slavery is abolished, we don't have any more problems, but that can be far from the truth. We are still dealing with the after effects of slavery, which is the concept of Afro-pessimism. That's what Afro-pessimism is. An example of Afro-pessimism is where black women and men are 4 times more likely to be incarcerated and be in jail longer than any other race. I found this on pewtrust.com. And Another example of Afro-pessimism is where black women are more likely than any other race to die during childbirth or after childbirth. This derives from the father of gynecology, Dr. Sims, who performed gynecology experiments in the 1800s on enslaved black women. He believed that black women could not feel pain and it would be more ethical for him to perform experiments on them than on white people because only white people feel pain. So, yeah. So I found that on history.com under the article under the article The Father of Gynecology, Jordan Morion Sims. Um, so although these are real experiences, the the Kendrick book also illustrates a good picture story of how Afro pessimism affects Black lives. So in the book, Dana experiences racism in the present and the past. So Dana and her boyfriend work as writers at this company and they experience racial jokes from their boss named Buzz. One time he came in and said chocolate and vanilla porn. And also in the past, Dana, um, her first encounter with Rufus, where he was talking, not a baby, he said that blacks could not. He said, well, he quoted on page 56 that that niggers could not marry whites. So he could not even believe that Dana and Kevin were married. So in both past and present, Dana experiences racism. And this goes back to that interracial relationships in the past and present are, even though in the past you could get, you can get murdered for it, you can go to jail for it. But it's still frowned upon in the present. You still get treated differently from dating the opposite race. Um, so I feel like that whites do not, or any other race besides black, besides minorities, understand the experience that um, ex- black people experience during being in interracial relationships and just being a minority. Period. Um, so examples in Kindred that tells us that sometimes white people are oblivious to the black experience and how they are affected by racism. Um, so in the book, Kevin Kevin and Dana was discussing that if Rufus would rape Dana, he would forgive her, and I didn't I didn't understand why it would be forgiven because rape is not a choice. It's like as if he was saying that in the book he was saying that he could understand back then how things was, so he would forgive her for being raped. But that's just undermining the black experience, like you thinking that we have a choice in the matter of how we get treated and stuff when we really don't. So that's just how it shows that how he uses his whiteness to be oblivious to the black experience. Also, after after he had used his white privilege to go and save some of the black people in the past. But when he got back, he acted like it was nothing. He acted like he wasn't worried about any of the other slaves that needed to be saved. And Daniel was over here worried about if they died, or did they get sold, and all this stuff like that. And he was just moving on with his life, watching football games, going out with his friends while she's at home sad about it. So it's just how he's oblivious. He's just like, what you want me to do about it? I can't really do nothing about it. But it's the fact that she's black, she's a minority. You need to think about that this could have happened to her if she was setting this time. This could have happened to her, and then on top of that, this is her family. These are her ancestors. That's this happening to. So of course she's gonna be worried and stuff like that. You wouldn't have to worry about that because you of a superior race, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. Um. So in conclusion, Afro pessimism relates to the black experience. Um, and we see that in Kindred, and we see that in real life by, by the prison being the new slavery, by black moms dying during childbirth or after childbirth. Um, and we just have to understand that racism is still prevalent today. It does not matter that race that slavery has ended. We are still dealing with the after effects of slavery. We are still being affected by it, and we can't just say that just because it's gone that it's just gone, because we still deal with everything. Like if black people go in the store, they are more likely to be looked at more. They'll probably fall around more than the other race. It's just different things that all these prejudice came from slavery, and we have to understand it. First, we have to acknowledge that racism is still going on to be able to fix it. If you are other than a minority, then you can help as well. You can help. You can use your white privilege, whatever, to the advantage of helping the minorities. But the way we can fix Afro pessimism is by first acknowledging that racism still exists.